So I think most of you know that I'm a midwife, and I want to share a story that just happened about a week ago. Um, I had a baby that died about 16, 18 years ago. It was a breech baby. It got stuck, and I just couldn't get it out. And that traumatized me for many years. I could not ever help somebody. I could not be primary with a woman carrying twins, or if she had a breech. If in my practice it was a breech baby, we did everything to turn them, and we turned them. And so recently, in the last 3 weeks, this woman came to me and she says, I'm having a baby by myself. It's called an assisted, but I want to see you because I want you to tell me my baby's head down, everything is good, and then I will go home and then I will have my baby. Great. She comes over and I go, I don't know what's going on in there, but it isn't just one. She didn't want any testing, anything. I said, please do an ultrasound. You want to know what's going on, but there's not just one baby. Sure enough, there were two. And I said, well, I can't help you, my usual. And she says, okay. And then I felt bad. And so we communicated and we put a birth team together. We had 3 midwives. We were going to do it. And then the word got out in the community, in the midwifery community. There's so much fear about breech, so much stuff. It came back at me and it bruised me. And then I was afraid. And I never, ever, ever want to be at a birth, but I'm afraid. So I had to call her. They came and I said, I can't be your midwife. And this is like 3 days before the baby's born, the babies. I cannot be your midwife. I'm afraid. And you don't want that at your birth. So she says, okay, well, this is what I needed. I guess then I'm going to have him by myself. And husband, are you on board? Yes, I'm on board with you, honey. And so then I proceeded to give him instruction for 2 hours, what to do in case of an emergency. And off they went. And then they called me and then they said, if we call you for advice, can we do that? And I said, sure, why not? So 3 days later, okay, my wife is in labor. She started an hour, less than an hour ago, and I hear her on the background screaming. So that means things are happening fast. My instinct, and I said, okay, they're thinking I'm going to be in my home waiting for them to call me for advice. My instinct is to throw everything in my car and go over there and park outside. It's dark. It's like 10 at night. And I had all my equipment, everything. And then, so I'm just waiting. So I listened to the intro to a Dow Science program with Dr. Rulin, and my fear, my trauma was still there. I listened to the program and I thought, oh yeah, yes, there's twins inside and one is breech and I have this. And she's talking about transforming. Okay. So I started working with that and I got so into it that I had forgotten when the baby died 18 years ago or so. I was in such a trauma, my mouth dried and it didn't produce saliva. I can't remember how long, but I just couldn't even breathe. And I was doing that in the car. I was like really went to it. I saw darkness in my heart. As she's guiding, I saw darkness in my lungs, and then I moved through my throat. And and then I could hardly breathe. There was no saliva. And she kept saying, visualize it. What was it? Acknowledge. I can't think of the word right now. Awareness. Make the awareness. Be aware of it. Be aware of it. And I felt like I had shirts on my throat stuffed. It just felt really uncomfortable. And then it goes back to the heart. When it goes back to the heart, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And instantly I felt boom, like it really left me. It was like, now I know what she means, because all this time I tried, nothing happens. But this time it was prime, it was ready to go. And it just went. And then I was left with the sensation like I was Superwoman. I could do anything, really. It just felt like my world was just full of possibilities, and they were all love. There was nothing else but love possibilities. Okay, so now I'm feeling really great. And I sit in the car, I'm just like so high from this transformation and this great release. And I just sit in the car. I wasn't going to be there, but just in case they call me. And I get a phone call. I'm 2 minutes away from the baby. And they said the baby was born, is limp, and is not breathing. So I think I said something not sacred, and I ran. And I found her. and 30 seconds or so, baby's breathing. So, oh, thank goodness baby's breathing. We're good. And we're just recovering from that. And she gets another contraction. And then she's telling me, oh, this is where I go on my hands and knees, right? Because I'm like, I just resuscitated the baby. And she goes on hands and knees. She starts pushing. She stands up because that's not working. And I'm not going to tell you the steps. But the baby presents in the same way that the baby that died on my hands presented. And I have no fear. All I have is this chest inflated with so much love and possibilities. And all the possibilities keep resonating in my head that they're all love. Sure enough, I see the baby in the position that you don't want it to be, facing the pubic bone because the baby got stuck in the chin and I couldn't release it back then. It's doing the same thing. But lovingly, I pick up the baby, uh, the head is, no, the arms and head still inside, just point to the hips. I take the baby and I rotated it. Now it's pointing to the leg. One more push and baby comes out like nothing. It was like so effortlessly. And I've been in this intense connection with the divine because I felt like I got in touch with that, and I and I and my mind would get in the way a little bit and say, wait, you going with that? Yes, I'm going with that. I have to trust the divine. I have to trust what happened. That was profound. That was powerful. I have to trust it. But my mind kept getting in the way, but I kept pushing it away. And so I felt that I'm healed. I'm healed. And I felt that I was brought to that. I mean, usually you have teams, and there I was just by myself, and it all worked out. Both babies were resuscitated, and everybody, all the babies are fine. But I feel that I was healed and changed forever because I also felt like I released stuff from lifetimes ago. It wasn't just this lifetime. It feels like it was lifetimes ago. And it's preparing me so I leave all that behind me and I'm able to serve better. And that's what I wanted to share. Thank you so much.